This is the CZ75 P-07 duty, chambered in 9mm Luger, or people call it 9mm Parabellum, or 9mm by 19mm NATO. The CZ75 comes in a pistol case that is very well designed and thought out, and this is what the new case looks like. They just recently came out with this new case, and it opens just like most cases do. There's two latches here, and then there is a safety latch, that additional safety that's in here, that if you push it down it opens. And here it is, the CZ75 P-07 duty. It comes with a handgun, gun safety, child safety lock, and inside the packaging is also the instruction manual, which is here. Looks like this, and the warranty and all the other packaging paper that it comes with. And it also comes with a hit pattern chart here that shows that it has been tested and calibrated a little bit when it was being after it was assembled at the factory. So there's that. This here is the gun itself, and before handling it, let's check the safety. So the magazine is empty, and there are no rounds in the chamber, and so we do have a clear and empty gun. This gun comes with an out-of-the-box kit that you can change between either having a manual safety on it or a decocker. Here in mine, I have the manual decocker on it, and if I can show you closer, it will look like this here. The decocker lever has three ridges or notches, and with a manual decocker, if the hammer is cocked, you can decock it, just like in many Sig Sauers and a lot of other pistols with a manual decocker. Mine came out of the box with a manual safety, and if I opt to install the manual safety instead, this lever here that comes in the kit that looks like this here can be changed out, and if I put this in, I will have a manual safety where if I flip up, it will be in safe, and if I flip down, it would be ready to fire. And it is quite easy to change, and the instruction manuals with the pistol comes with instructions on how to change that. In addition, there are a lot of videos on YouTube and articles, and even instructions on the CZUSA website that gives detailed instruction on how to change that out. Now let's go over all the features of this gun. The magazine capacity here is 16 rounds standard. So here is a 16 round magazine. One thing about this magazine is that it is not like the standard original CZ75 magazine, because it is a little bit wider and a little bit shorter than the CZ75 magazine. However, the standard CZ75 magazine and any aftermarket one will fit into this, but it will protrude out, and because it's a little narrower, it will have some play, but it will work. And on the other hand, the new CZ75 P-07 duty magazines will not fit into the standard CZ75 because it's too wide. This gun also comes in a 40 caliber version, in which the magazine capacity of it is 12 rounds instead of 16 rounds. And again, the gun is unloaded, it's empty, and the magazine is empty. The trigger mechanism on this gun is single action, double action. And that's standard, just like most single action, double action guns are. You can have the hammer cocked back, and if you shoot carrying it cocked and locked with a safety, or just cocked with a manual decocker, just carrying it cocked like this, the first shot will give you a shot that is similar, that is a single action shot with a low trigger pull. And you can also shoot it in double action mode, in which if you carry it with a hammer down and with the ammo in the chamber, the first shot will be a double action shot, which will be a longer trigger pull and also a heavier one. So single action, double action, it's standard. And the overall length of this gun is 185 millimeters, the length, or 7.280 inches. The barrel length is 95 millimeters, or 3.800 inches. The height of the gun, that's from bottom to top, the height of it here, the height is 130 millimeters, or 5.120 inches. The width of the gun here, the width is 37 millimeters, or 1.460 inches. And the weight of this gun with an empty magazine is 770 grams, or 27.161 ounces. Now let's take apart this gun, and I'd like to show the inside of it. To field strip the CZ75 P-07 duty, you need to first pull the slide back just a little bit, slightly, like that. And the gun, again, is safe. There's no rounds in it, in the chamber, and the magazine is empty. We take the magazine out, and we drop the hammer, and we pull the slide back a little bit, and the pin, we just push it through like that, and and then it just comes apart like that there. And here is a slide assembly and the frame all taken apart. One thing that makes the CZ75 and all CZ75 variants unique is that the slide rails, as you see here, ride inside the slide. So it rides inside the slide as seen here. As you see here that the rails are inside, and that is different than most pistols. CZ has designed the CZ75 and all its variants with a slide inside, with a slide riding inside the frame, and with this design it gives less muzzle recoil, less recoil, and it also makes the gun shoot more accurately because of the reduced recoil. So that is what makes the CZ75 a very unique gun and a very sought after one. And there are also many clones and copies of the CZ75, such as the Baby Eagle, otherwise known as the IWI Jericho 941, and the EAA Witness in 9mm. They also are clones of the CZ75, along with the Sphinx 9mm pistol, a high-end and expensive Swiss pistol, which has been considered to be a superior and better copy of the CZ75. But generally, many of these clones of the CZ75 is comparable or not quite as good as the original CZ75. And so I'm decocking it, and we're going to take it back apart here. This is a slide here, and one thing that's very unique about the new slide, the slide for the CZ75 P-07 duty, is that it is sharply angled and that it's very thin. And this sharply angled shape does make it more aerodynamic, so that the slide can cycle better with less air resistance. At least that's what I've read about or heard as to why they made it angled and wedged in an aerodynamic manner. And this here is a recoil spring, so it just comes out like that. And here's the barrel. This barrel here looks like this up front, and here are the insides of it, the rifling, and this is a slide assembly itself here, and here's the extractor, and it can be the extractor here. And here is a frame. Now this is a polymer frame, and this is one of CZ's first attempts with coming out with a good high quality pistol with a polymer frame. And the size of this frame is very similar to the dimensions of a Glock 19 9mm. CZ did sell the CZ100 and the CZ110 before, which was based on a polymer frame and everything, but it never enjoyed much commercial success either here in the US or around the world. So CZ had decided to take the original CZ75, modify it a little bit, simplify the action and the mechanics off the original CZ75 and make it with a polymer handle. And all the CZ75 in the new duty series, such as the P-07 and the P-09, are both polymer framed ones. And so it is very lightweight, and it's very durable too. And in my opinion, I believe that this is perhaps one of the best polymer framed 9mm pistols available on the market today. And so here are the insides of the insides and the mechanism of the P-07 duty. And this lever here, the decocker lever, can again be switched out, as I showed you earlier, with safety instead. Now let's put this gun back together. So the barrel goes back in, and this side here, the one without the hole, as shown here, one side has a hole, this side, and this side doesn't. The side without the hole goes into the slide first, and then it just goes back in like that. And reassembling it is very quick and easy. It's the opposite of disassembling it, and we just move the slide back a little bit and just pop the slide, the pin back in, and this is put back together. And always check for safety. Make sure that it's unchambered and magazine's empty, and the gun's back together. Next, I want to talk about my first impressions of shooting my CZ75 P-07 duty. Since purchasing it brand new, I have taken it to the range and broken it in with approximately 125 rounds. I have used various brands of ammunition, as shown here. I have tested it with a Federal, with this Federal 115 grain full metal jacket RN. It's a standard Federal target practice or training round, and it's WM51991. That's the model number of this ammo. And I have had no problems and had good experience with the Federal, with this Federal ammo here. I've also used the Winchester 9mm Luger 115 grain full metal jacket, same type as with the Federal, and this Winchester, it's also another standard target practice round, and this is the Winchester model USA 9mmVP. Again, it's USA 9mmV as in Victor, P as in Peter. That's the stock model number. And I've also had good experience with shooting this through it too. Next, I've also shot it using the Remington UMC jacketed hollow point round 115 grain, and the stock or the factory number for this ammunition, the model number is L as in Larry 9MM1B as in boy, as shown over here. And this is a hollow point, jacketed hollow point, and I have had no problem with my CZ shooting with this round too. This is the ammo that I use when I conceal carry mine. With a hollow point, it's better suited for defense, and if it does not hit the target, it will, deform and mushroom and won't ricochet. I have also shot my CZ with the cellular and below, or SNB, 9mm, 115 grain. This is a Czech brand of ammunition, cellular and below, or SNB, and the model, the stock number of this ammo is over here. It's S as in Sam, B as in boy, 9A, SB 9A. This ammunition also works very well with my CZ and has not caused any problems at all. No jams. CZ does recommend, I have heard that CZ does recommend SNB, cellular and below, as their ammunition, recommended ammunition. SNB does sell 124 grain jacketed hollow point and 147 grain jacketed hollow point round for it. I have not been able to find that type of ammo by S&B locally at the gun stores or at Walmart's or Cabela's in my area. But I would like to have a chance sometime to shoot my CZ75 P-07 duty using the defense models of S&B, such as the 124 grain jacketed hollow point or 147 grain jacketed hollow point. I know that S&B and CZ, both being Czech companies, work together a lot, and that S&B does supply basically all the ammo to CZ for their testing. And so I would imagine that would be the most ideally suited ammunition, particularly one of those defense rounds, for this gun. However, the great thing about the CZ75 P-07 duty is that it shot all of this ammo without any problems, and the first 125 rounds I put through to break it in, I had no jams, I had no misfeeds, and I had no misfires. That is a lot to say for a brand new handgun to be shooting during the initial break-in period, to not have any of those problems. And compared to a lot of other 9mm pistols that I have shot or I have owned, I would have to say that this is perhaps the best one I have ever owned. I believe that, in my opinion, it is more reliable and jam-free than my Browning high power or a Glock 17 9mm, and I know that it shoots as well and handles as well and as accurately as a Sig Sauer P226 or P229, which I have shot. And so I am not exaggerating when I say that the CZ75 P-07 duty is comparable to a SIG Sauer in terms of quality and accuracy and reliability. And I very highly recommend this pistol a lot. It is, again, chambered in both 9mm and in .40 caliber. I have read from various sources, from various videos on YouTube and various internet blog posts and articles, which one has to take it for what it's worth and evaluate based on their own conclusions. I have heard that the 9mm version is slightly more reliable than the .40 caliber in that it's less prone to jam and it's less prone to misfeed or misfire. And I don't say that to badmouth or to, talk badly about the .40 caliber version over the 9mm version, and I do not mean that in a manner to imply that a .40 caliber is worse than a 9. But I just want to point out that that has been a rumor out there. Whether true or false, I don't know, but there are a lot of guns that works best chambered in a certain version, and if it's in a different caliber, it may be less reliable. But again, the jury is still out on that, and this is a fairly new gun. It's only been out in the US market since 2009 for about 3 years. And so the jury's out on that. Well, that's about it with my initial review of my CZ75 P-07 duty. Thank you very much for watching.